At its narrowest, the English Channel is only 20 miles wide. There are growing fears and evidence that migrants are risking their lives to cross from mainland Europe to the UK. People the latest commodity for smugglers. And the English coastline offers plenty of scope for doing this. Sandwich Bay in Kent is the sort of opportunity that people smugglers are looking for. Mile upon mile of pretty much empty coastline, easy enough under the cover of darkness to get in here in a small boat undetected and get out again. This place gives you an idea of the challenge that's facing the authorities. A few miles north, the port of Ramsgate. Moored in the harbour, the customs cutter Valiant of the UK Border Force, one of 5 vessels charged with patrolling the UK's entire coastline. I've come to Ramsgate to see if people here think that's enough to do the job. Specifically, should the Royal Navy be called upon to assist the Border Force? The day's whelk haul is being unloaded by some of Ramsgate's fishermen. These people know the waters perhaps better than anyone else. The verdict is naval patrols would be beneficial, particularly from a safety point of view.
There's a lot of activity that goes on out of here. I mean, it's not going to take long. If you go out on a foggy day like today, we couldn't really see 3 temps within in front of us. It was ridiculous. I mean, you could only hear the fogs horning, and if the migrants are going to go across the Dover Channel and across there, they're only going to ask themselves for trouble. It's a good idea, no, right.
Some of the fishermen's catch will end up 100 yards away on the fresh fish stall run by Michael Penn. I asked Michael if he'd like the Royal Navy to patrol.
We should be doing that all the time, really. You know, it would help hell of a lot, you know, to stop these immigrants actually coming over here. And I think it'd be a brilliant idea, I really do.
One of the seafront cafes has a definite continental flavour. It's run by Spaniard Raúl Marín.
Maybe it's a good idea because now a lot of people coming. A lot migrants here. Maybe it's a good idea make in the sea, make boats in there.
So these businesses seem to favour a Royal Navy presence. But what about the general population?
I think it might be a bit severe really to send the Navy when there's other things they could be doing more important, I would have thought.
A lot of people here are worried about migrants coming in, and we don't know who's coming in and what's been said and what's been done. So I have seen them on the harbour, and it's time for a change.
Controlling immigrants, I'm not really sure that's, no, I think that's down at the government, that's a political thing, and I don't think that's a forces thing at all now.
There have been reports that fishermen and sailors have been approached and offered money to smuggle migrants across the channel. No one we spoke to here said that had happened to them or anyone they knew. But Christopher Lee, our defence analyst and keen yachtsman, says he has been targeted.
You go in offload, you go alongside the sea wall, because it's that sort of place, and a guy comes up and he leans over and says, "You're going back across the channel, you've got a red ensign flying." "Yeah, Chichester." Goes away, comes back about half an hour later with another man, and he said, "Could you take a couple of friends of mine who want to get home and, you know, they haven't got any money," you know, the usual sort of stories. And I said, "How much?" He said, 100 each.
In a statement in response to our investigation, the MOD has said, the Ministry of Defence has yet to have a formal request to utilise the Royal Navy in this capacity. If asked by the Home Office, we will do what we can do. But in Ramsgate, the majority of people we spoke to seem keen to have the Royal Navy active, protecting the English Channel and their coastline. Tim Cooper, Forces News, Ramsgate.